Hi Taurus, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is Wednesday, May 20th, 2020. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Taurus for this upcoming week in May. Because it's general, it can pertain to anything, relationships or otherwise. Also be flexible with the energy. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards. You can mix and match the roles within the reading. Don't try to make the reading fit. You'll know if it's resonating and you will know who you are within the reading. My intention is to reach those that need the message and will benefit from it. So hopefully that's you today, Taurus. Hopefully by the end you'll feel like you have something worthwhile that will be helpful to you. Remember, parts of this reading may resonate for you, other parts may not because it's general. So I'm going to give this deck one or two more shuffles here and we're going to get started and see what's going on with Taurus for this upcoming week. Here we go. Okay, Taurus, so we're going to start off with the Four of Cups, Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Seven of Cups in reverse, Seven of Swords, the Sun, the Emperor, the Lovers, except the Lovers are the Two of Cups, Lovers. The Lovers and the Two of Cups in this deck look similar, so I have to look twice sometimes. And then we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, Taurus, so I feel like you might be giving up on something, maybe something that you haven't put a whole lot of energy into, or maybe you haven't even thought about it in a while, and maybe it's something that's been on the back burner. I feel like it could have to do with a relationship or connection. Something you haven't put a lot of thought into or a lot of energy, or maybe you don't even know the status regarding this relationship at this point in time. Maybe it's something, for example, that because of the crazy pandemic days we're living in, you've been staying at home and kind of keeping your distance from friends and colleagues and that kind of thing. And so maybe this was a connection that you haven't put a lot of energy into because you just haven't been around this person. But I feel like you might be giving up on something. Again, something that you haven't put a lot of energy or effort or thought into in a while. Almost just like you're just closing the chapter just because it just feels like, well, I'm not really even concerned about this anymore. We're just going to close the door on this because I'm not putting any effort into it anyway, so why bother? However, with the Seven of Swords out here, it feels like it doesn't feel comfortable. There could be an outcome that ultimately will have you feeling like you made a mistake. I feel like your energy is the Emperor with the Sun, which is really positive. It feels very, very, very strong, very positive. When I saw these two cards come out, especially with this mix of cards that's out here right now, the thought that went through my head is you're in control of your own destiny. You are clear about where you want to be. You are clear about the choices that you're making. You know that you are in charge. You know you have the power to make the decisions you want to make, to go in the direction you want to go. You feel very in control, very sure of yourself, very positive, maybe very happy. I mean, it feels very positive, but you're surrounded by some cards that indicate there's some uncertainty surrounding, again, a connection or a relationship that maybe you put on the back burner if you just put on hold for a while. Let's see what else we get for you, Taurus. Clear some of this up. So we've got Strength in reverse, Justice in reverse, There's the Ace of Swords, this time in the upright position. Six of Pentacles, clarifying the Seven of Swords. The Knight of Cups. The Four of Cups, this time in reverse, clarifying the Emperor. The Chariot, clarifying the Lovers. And the World. Okay, so here's what I have. Taurus, this feels like a connection. It feels like it possibly could be a romantic or intimate connection. Something that could be potentially, and again, I say could be because I don't feel like this is something that's established. I feel like this is something that could potentially be a very significant connection or relationship to you. But I don't know that you have established a connection or that you have maybe moved it to the next level. I feel like this is something new, but it's something that's been on hold or put on the back burner. And I say that because I think, you know, with current circumstances, or it could be that your circumstances are different, that it has nothing to do, you know, with COVID-19 and the quarantine that's keeping you away from this individual. It could be something totally different, but that always comes to mind when I see this kind of thing come out in the cards, that there's this strong disconnect. It maybe hasn't even been on your mind for a while. And because maybe you haven't been around this person, you haven't been interacting with them, you haven't seen them, it's just something that's kind of faded for you. And you just stop paying attention to it. So maybe you're ready to give up on it altogether. But with Justice in reverse coming out here, it's indicating it's not a good idea. It's not the right move. You saw the cards before that I showed you before. There's a lack of clarity here, though, that is the problem. And that is, again, it could be lack of communication, a lack of understanding where the status of this relationship or where this person stands within your life. I almost get the sense that if you just let this drift away, if you just let this go, if you just kind of drop this without kind of saying anything about it, or you just kind of, you know, it's been on the back burner for so long, maybe you haven't had a whole lot of communication or contact with this individual. At the same time, I think that there's mutual interest here, I guess, mutual energy. There's a mutual connection. I think that both of you feel the same about each other. The potential for this relationship feels mutual, but because of this lack of effort being put forth, or maybe the inability to do so, leaving this behind would ultimately be a mistake, because even though there hasn't been much in the way of energy put forth within this relationship, because there's that potential, it would feel like betrayal to the person you're dealing with. And if this person did this to you, it would feel the same to you. You would both feel a sense of betrayal if the other one decided to let this go. Does that make sense, Taurus? It could be too that the feelings regarding this relationship are mutual. Maybe there's a level of frustration. I don't know that there's frustration right now, because it feels, you know, Four of Cups, I often get the word apathy. You just stopped caring, or because the level of effort or energy being put forth into this situation or this relationship or connection has been close to nil. It's just stopped. It's not even on your radar anymore. You just stopped caring. There's not enough being put forth into this to make you stand up and notice. Does that make sense, Taurus? And so it almost feels like you should give it up. You should walk away. You should stop trying. But with Justice in reverse, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Let's get this next set of cards there. Let me give this one more shuffle and see. Because I keep going back to this. I just want to show these cards one more time before I get a bunch more that are laying on top of these cards, so that they're hard to maneuver when I get all my decks out. But I just want to show you this one more time. Because whatever this is for you that's not currently, it hasn't transpired for you, it hasn't become 3D for you. Again, it could be a connection you made, you know, a while back that due to certain circumstances you just haven't been able to reconnect or establish something, but this is what this looks like when or if it does become more tangible for you or more real for you. And that's pretty strong energy. The Sun, Knight of Cups. And you might be figuring this out. You might be realizing that you have control over the situation and you could change the current dynamic of this relationship if you made a move. If you made some level of effort. Let's get some more cards out here. One more quick shuffle. Because I do get the feeling too that leaving this hanging, I mean, if you just were to walk away from this without the clarity, without an understanding of where this could go or what could transpire between you and this other person, just leaving this behind without any clarity, I think would be a very uncomfortable, unsatisfying situation. So there's the Emperor again showing up on the Four of Cups. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. I think this is the person you're dealing with. And the person you might be, you can call it whatever you want. Walking away from, giving up on, leaving behind, ignoring, removing your energy. With this Page of Pentacles, it's about throwing in the towel before something even gets going. It's like giving up on an idea or giving up on a goal. I think the Queen of Pentacles is the person that you're dealing with. And let's get these cards out and then we'll talk about her in a minute. Here we have Death. Knight of Swords in reverse. The Moon. Clarifying the Sun, which is interesting. The Chariot in reverse. 8 of Wands in reverse. And then the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so let me talk about this Queen of Pentacles first. So the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is very grounded, very caring, loyal, loving, compassionate, puts others first. This can be a mothering type figure or an actual mother. This is somebody who's a perfect partner, a loyal friend, the type of person you want in your corner. Some people call the King and Queen of Pentacles, you know, wifey and husband material. Someone who's very reliable, hardworking. This is the person you would be giving up on, Taurus. And I do feel like I'm reading for the Emperor, but you could be this Queen of Pentacles. So if you're cross-watching for a Taurus, or maybe you are even a Taurus, you can still be this Queen of Pentacles. Remember, you can mix and match, but the Emperor's energy is very strong in this reading. And so I'm going to read for the Emperor, just so you're aware of how I'm looking at these cards. So the Emperor right now is the person who's kind of put this relationship or connection on the back burner, mostly because there hasn't been a whole lot of energy put forth into it. And so there's consideration of just leaving this behind, letting it go. I think this Emperor realizes that he holds a certain level of control over whether or not this moves forward or not. We've got the Chariot in reverse. He holds control over whether or not this moves forward. I'm not sure that this Emperor, and again, Taurus, if this is you, I'm not sure if you are certain about whether or not you want to be the one to take action or to make a move or make an offer or approach or connect, communicate. I feel like that's kind of up in the air right now. You're not certain if you should or if you want to. I feel like you want to, but I'm not sure if you feel like you should. So ultimately, this lack of communication or lack of taking action, 8 of Wands in reverse, is the reason why this relationship has gone nowhere and why it potentially could come to a screeching halt altogether, and that's because of the lack of effort being put forth, which I do believe, again, Taurus, the ball could be in your court with regard to this connection, that if you decide to make a move one way or the other, that you could move this forward. You actually have the control in the situation to make the decision one way or the other. I do get the sense too that there is an understanding, that there is a certain level of clarity with regard to this situation, that you could either end it or transform it. Does that make sense, Taurus? You either have the opportunity with how things stand right now to end this altogether, or you could potentially transform it into something new. But I get the feeling that the ending or the act of giving up, the Page of Pentacles, walking away from the situation, would feel like a betrayal or feel very uncomfortable, very negative to both of you. I think that not giving this a fair shot would feel uncomfortable or wrong to both of you. You might not be certain with this moon showing up out here with this Knight of Cups Sun set of cards, that you're not certain about the outcome of your efforts if you decided to move forward with this. And maybe the uncertainty has you feeling a little bit hesitant, scared, or worried. Maybe you could be doubting yourself. You could be thinking, you know what, I've got this all wrong. This person doesn't feel this way about me. It's not, it wouldn't go anywhere, that kind of thing. I think you're unclear as to whether or not the situation would work out or pan out the way you would hope that it would if you do decide to take that first step or that next step. If you do decide to make an effort in some way, shape, or form, whatever that looks like for you, Taurus, you might be uncertain about the outcome. I think the outcome would be positive. I mean, based on what I'm seeing, that first set of cards that came out, first two sets, with the Chariot, Sun, Lovers. But let's see what else we get for you, Taurus. Oh, I gotta shuffle one more time. When I'm cutting, if the cards fall, or if something weird or I cut wrong, or a card gets left on the table when I'm cutting, I've got to do one more shuffle. That's just my rule for myself. Not that you needed to know that, Taurus, but I told you anyway. Okay, so we have the Star. And Justice in reverse came out on top of Justice in reverse. Justice in the upright came out on top of Justice in reverse. I guess I could just show you, huh? Instead of trying to say these difficult words that apparently I can't say. Let me get these out here. Four of Cups again in reverse. Ace of Swords again in the upright. Page of Cups with the Knight of Cups. Lovers in reverse. Ace of Wands in reverse. And then the Wheel of Fortune, clarifying the world. So I want to get this next set out, but I just want to show you this set. So I think that the level of energy, or the lack of energy, I should say, being put forth into this connection, or moving toward it, or whatever that looks like for you, is not justified. It's not the right move to make. Instead, having a little bit of hope, you know, thinking that, you know, this has potential if you put the effort into it. That's what's justified in the situation. If you make the effort, this has great potential. With the star showing up with Justice, I just think there is a little bit of fear and doubt with regard to the actual outcome, that you are afraid that this will go nowhere, even if you make the effort. Because I don't know that you're certain about, again, the outcome. If you decide to make an offer or make a move or communicate, reconnect, I'm not sure that you're certain of this outcome, whether or not it'll make you happy or be the right thing. But the cards are indicating that if you decide not to take action or not to communicate to this Queen of Pentacles, that this opportunity is going to slip out of your hands and you will regret it. So the Queen of Pentacles is the person that you're dealing with, Taurus, and I do feel like this person, this person is again, it's not someone you just turn away from. The Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, it's the type of person you really want to hang on to, somebody that you want to give a fighting chance within a connection or relationship. It could be that there has been a lack of communication or effort being put forth, like I said before. And if you just make that first move, or you know, make that phone call or knock on that person's door, that you'll have some clarity and you'll know one way or the other. But I think that if you just walk away or leave this behind or give up on it altogether, it's going to feel like betrayal to this person with the Seven of Swords energy. It'll bring it to an end once and for all. I mean, if you're looking to end this situation, maybe it's just been on the back burner so long and you really don't, maybe you don't care about this anymore. Maybe it's something like it's more of a, one of those things that crosses your mind once in a while. This person might cross your mind once, or, oh, I wonder whatever happened to so-and-so. You know, I wonder how they're doing, or what's going on with them, and then you just kind of shrug it off and move on. Maybe you just want to let this go altogether because you do want to put more energy into something else and you just don't feel like it's worthwhile, but the cards are indicating it would be worthwhile. I'm just throwing that out there, Taurus. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But you know, if you're watching a tarot reading for a reason, I'm telling you the cards are saying it's worthwhile. You can watch another tarot reading and see what that reader says. Maybe they'll disagree with me. But my cards are saying it's worthwhile, Taurus. Let's get this last round out, and then we're going to try to wrap this up. So we've got the King of Wands. Again, I think this is your energy, and this is all about, King of Wands is somebody who is very ambitious, somebody who goes after what he wants. He's not afraid of a challenge. He's got leadership skills. Other people look up to this type of individual because they're fearless. And they've got what it takes to make things happen. And you might be embodying this kind of energy, this Emperor, King of Wands energy, but at the same time, you're just kind of not feeling like putting that level of energy into this connection. even though, you know, there's a significant amount of star power here, star energy within this potential connection. And I keep saying potential because I don't feel like it's an established connection. And I'm saying that I don't feel like it's an established connection, partly because I don't see cards like the Ten of Swords, and I should talk before I get the last set out here, but there's no indications of an ending, like there was a conflict and something went awry within the relationship and it came to an end. I don't necessarily feel, oh, that didn't help at all, did it? See, it's getting late in the day. I knew this was going to happen because I'm doing my readings really late, and then it was cloudy, and now the sun's coming out at the very last minute. So it is what, you know, I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. It just is. Okay, so we have, there's the Knight of Wands. Six of Swords in reverse. Ten of Wands. Seven of Cups. Seven of Swords again. Nine of Cups. And the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So, I'm going to go ahead and simplify this reading with this last set of cards. It feels very clear to me. The ball is in your court, Taurus. You can take action or not. You get to decide. You get to decide what you want to do with the situation. You're in charge. If you choose to walk away from the situation, if you choose to leave it behind, this Queen of Pentacles will see it as, and I use the word betrayal. You know, it can't necessarily be betrayal if you don't have an established connection, but I feel like there's something more here. If you choose to if you choose to be a chicken shit, the word popped in my head. I can't help it. If you choose to be a chicken shit, that's what came into my head when I saw the Knight of Swords, and leave this behind, the problem is you're going to have to carry the burden of this person's reaction to your dismissal of the connection. And that is that this person is going to feel betrayed, or feel you can call it whatever you want, disappointed, betrayed. It's a Seven of Swords energy. And why it would be such an extreme response, I'm not sure. Taurus, that's for you to decide why this is such an extreme response from this person. But if you decide not to make this move because you don't know, Seven of Cups, you're not sure if this is what you want to do or not. Is it the right thing or not? And I don't know the outcome, so I'm not sure I want to take that chance. That's the kind of energy I'm getting off of those cards. I'm not sure if I'm willing to take the risk because I don't know the outcome. But if you choose not to take the risk, ultimately, your action of leaving it all behind, of quitting before anything gets started, is going to feel like an act of betrayal because you let this go, because you gave up on it. Does that make sense, Taurus? I'm just telling you what the cards are telling me. And again, this person hasn't given up on you. This Queen has not given up on you. And she also knows that the ball is in your court. And she sees the relationship as this. It's justified to give it a try because there's potential there. You would be justified in making an effort because there is extreme potential in this connection. So it's hard to be in this kind of situation, Taurus, because again, for whatever reason, and I can't explain that, I don't see why in the cards, but the ball is in your court at this point in the game. Maybe at some other point in the game, the ball was in this Queen of Pentacles court. I'm not sure. I can't tell you. But you get to decide what you want. And I think that there is a little bit of fear that you think that maybe this is just your hope or your dream, or maybe, and the Queen could be thinking, well, this is just what I want. It's not what this Emperor wants. And so we're not going to move forward with this. It's going to be a missed opportunity. It's going to fall out of my hands because it's not mutual. But I think it is mutual. I think, again, that the idea of giving up on this feels wrong. It feels like the wrong move. And if you're unclear about the situation with the Ace of Swords coming out here, what, 3 times? Came out here twice in the upright, once in reverse, with the set of cards indicating that there's no communication, no effort being put forth. There's a lack of clarity because there's no effort being put forth. There's no communication being had. There's no energy being put forth into this. And so you'll never know. I mean, you can have your answer if you just decide to take some action, whatever that looks like for you, Taurus. And why not? I mean, what do you have to lose is my question. What do you have to lose? You gain your clarity, you know one way or the other. If it works out, fantastic. I mean, you know, then you've got this. And who doesn't want that? So the potential's there. If it doesn't, you know, if you communicate or if you make contact with this individual and then things don't work out, well, at least you know. At least you have, you know one way or the other. And you won't be wondering the rest of your life about the one that got away. I don't know. Will this be the one that got away because you didn't make the move? You didn't want to make the effort? Maybe. So, my advice, Taurus, I think it's pretty obvious. Make contact. Give it a shot. See what happens. Why not? It won't hurt. I'm going to take this card. We have Journey in reverse. It's a potential blockage if it comes out in reverse. Journey is one of the major Arcana cards in this deck. It's number 17. I will read this from the book and then we're going to wrap this up. See if we can't give you any advice here. Taurus. And the Journey blockage, about a page long. Here we go, Taurus. I'm making sure there's no weird glare on the card because of the sun. Here we go. The Journey card reverse symbolizes a fixation with the past that prevents one from living fully in the present. It matters not if you are holding on to a happy moment or a painful one. By holding on to those moments, you may potentially be hampering your ability to experience life fully and completely in the present. Are you constantly reliving your past success to the detriment of doing well in the present because the days gone by were better, bigger, and brighter than your life you lead now? Or are you holding on to a painful past and suffering as you relive your hurts over and over again? What is it that you have learned from your journey? Has it made you a happier, healthier, wiser person, or has it made you wary, cautious, cynical, or full of anxiety? We learn from our past experiences. In each moment we can uncover our personal truths, but sometimes the knowledge we take from them has taught us to be more afraid or overly cautious. The knowledge gained from those experiences is then implemented in the present to a sometimes detrimental degree. Have your past experiences made you afraid of living in the moment? Do you feel that by letting go of the past and by living in the now, you might somehow be caught out again or disappointed if your experiences in the now are not equal to those of your past? The Journey card reversed asks that you now let go. By holding on, you actually risk having that worst case scenario manifest because you invest so much time, thought, and emotion into their possibility. You are no longer the person you were in the past, for good or ill. You, your life, and your circumstances have changed. The past is gone. Let it be over and instead fill this day with possibility. Make this day a good day by shifting your attention and interest to what surrounds you in the present. If the present is not as full or as grand as you wish it to be, then make it so. Today is the day you can change for the better, and so is tomorrow. That was perfect. I couldn't have picked a better card to come out. And in the reverse, too. I thought the message was perfect. You're in control. Taurus, you're in control of the situation. With the sun is driving me nuts. Fortunately, I'm almost done. You're in control of the situation. You came out twice as the Emperor. And you know you have control of the situation, and you know you can make this happen or not. But, you know, don't let whatever happened, you know, between you and this person in the past, whether it was bad or good, don't let that keep you from feeling like you can't make a current decision that will benefit you today and tomorrow and into your future, because you do have the power to do that, Taurus. So I wish you all the luck in this situation. I really think that you need to communicate with this individual. This person wants you to. There's still hope, because a period has not been put at the end of the sentence yet with regard to this connection. And, you know, don't let fear and your past experiences keep you from making moves in the future that might be beneficial to you in the long run. Take control of the situation and make it happen, because it's yours to have if you want it. So Taurus, I'm going to leave that here. I wish all the best for you. I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope that it gave you gained some clarity out of it. If it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye, Taurus.